people. Who were the significant people in your life? We all know that different things, environment and people and education, go up to, as an important part of our makeup. So who were the people in your life? As a young child, as a teenager, as a worker, as a mother or father? What were they like? What did they look like? Did they have anything distinctive about them that was a family trait that's been passed down? Did they have big nose or pointy ears, or could they roll their tongue, or they couldn't roll their tongue? Just those sorts of things were important. And what sort of clothes did they wear? As we go through, and I'm sure you've even seen it in your lifetime, there's been so many eras with so many different styles of clothing that the young people nowadays don't know what it was like in the 60s and 50s and 40s. So what did you wear? Did you wear a hat if you're a man, which is unusual these days, which was very common back then? So people want to know those sorts of things. Also, were there any special mannerisms or sayings? I'm sure you can, each of you, think of somebody in your own circle of friends or your own family that has some particular trait and says the same thing that, you know, would trigger off a bit of a memory. How did they talk and sound? Over the years our language changes, so we quite often like to understand. Back in, let's say, the 40s or 30s, there were people who liked to speak like those in England. They didn't sound like those in England. There was an Australian English language version, but they did. Nowadays we've more developed our own accent, which is more common, but in those days a lot of people strove for that sort of imitation, if you like, English accent. Do they have any special knowledge or beliefs that were significant to you? The significant people in your life have a great impact on you when you're young, and you take on and learn from them. You might be learning about their philosophies on life, or you might be learning a skill from them. Those sorts of things are useful in adding a layer of colour and highlighting the sorts of things that the significant people in your life had an impact on you through. What did you feel about them, and how do you feel about that nowadays? Because your thoughts as you mature change over the time. Ask yourself, what was my relationship to them? What did I learn from them? What experiences did I share from them? Did I go fishing? Did they take me bike riding? Did they take me in the bush? Did they take me to the city, the movies? Those sorts of things. Write them down on your list. You may not use them, but it all helps to build up your memory and a layer of information about the people who would appear in your story. How did those people affect your life? Let's have a little listen to Peter, who describes a little bit about his family.
My brother was very easygoing, very keen on sport, very easygoing, not academically inclined, but very generous fellow. Spent all his time in service clubs. We were in the Apex Club together. He then joined Des Moines Rotary, and he was in that for, oh goodness, almost as long as I have been. I say at least 30 to 40 years. My mother, as I said, a very outgoing woman, very friendly, very popular with the neighbours, popular with the friends. As a mother, very kind and caring and understanding, but as I said, prone to being very quick. My father, however, was a little more laid back, but again, still very much the paternalistic sort of person.
So by listening to Peter there, you get a real sense of a snapshot of what his family was like. So in years to come, people will have an idea about what his mother was like, what he was like, what his father was like, what his brother was like.